Trazaki Show. I'm the Trev. It's too sweet. Anyway, so now that the Western Conference is said and solved and over with, and we've had the best pair of dual Game 7s we could have ever asked for on a weekend like this, we can now make our Western Conference semifinals predictions video to go along with our Eastern Conference semifinals predictions video. Check it out here if you haven't seen it. And, well, I'm just going to start out by saying this. If semifinals are anything like the quarterfinals, it's going to be a hell of a playoff run, let me tell you, at least for the West anyway. But what we're going to do is we're going to go over every series we had. I'm going to give you my thoughts and give you mine and the wife's predictions. I mean, she's actually kicking my ass on the predictions front, but we'll discuss that when we get in. We'll do that, then we'll go over my predictions and the wife's predictions for the Western Conference semifinals. So, having said all that, let's talk about it. Alright, so if you want to check out my Western Conference quarterfinals predictions video, follow this visual. If not, just tag along, listen to what we're going to talk about, because we're going to talk about every series in depth, starting with Winnipeg and St. Louis. Now this was a treat of a series. Not only did every home team win the game, meaning game 1 and 2 was won by Winnipeg, game 3 and 4 was won by St. Louis, and so on and so on and so on. Not only was that, but for Winnipeg winning this series, they were outscored 27-21. So that says a lot, actually. But I mean, when it was close, it was close. And I mean, really, game 2, even game 7 were the closest games. Every other game, not so close. And again, the difference in being outscored. But it's not to say St. Louis was holding back. I mean, Fowler put up 10 points in 7 games, followed very closely by Thomas and Buchnevich, who each put up 8. Random tidbit, did you know? This is the first Game 7 in Winnipeg, not just in Winnipeg Jets history, but in Winnipeg as a whole. This is the first Winnipeg Jets playoff Game 7 since 1977. We're talking WHA Jets. That's how long it's been since Winnipeg has seen a Game 7. But for Winnipeg, they did not come out in one piece. I mean, they lost guys to injury. They had guys sitting out because of injury. It's hard to see how they're going to do in the semifinals. Now, as far as the predictions is concerned, my wife and I got both the team right. I just called the Jets in 7. She called the Jets in 5. So I get the bonus points for calling it spot on. Yay me. Moving on. Dallas, Colorado. So the other series in the West that we got treated to a beauty of a Game 7. I mean, if you want to call Game 7 close, you can. I mean, even though Ranton did score the hat trick in it, and, Dallas won it with less than 3 minutes to go. Really, other than, if you want to call Game 7 close, Game 3 and Game 2, which both went into overtime, this series was not even close. I mean, it was always a matter of leading by 4 or leading by 3. Game 7, Dallas won the game by 2. And for the longest time in the series, for at least until Game 5, I thought Rantanen and Duchesne were going to be non-factors. But then Rantanen scores 11 points in between Games 5 and 6 and 7, including 2 4-point nights, which included the Game 7 hat trick. And Duchesne came out with 3 assists. I mean, they also came out with good secondary scoring from Johnson and Harley and Heinz. So it wasn't all bad on the Dallas end. But for Colorado, though, I mean, when McKinnon is your leading scorer on the team with 11 points, and your number 2 is Logan O'Connor with 6, I mean, there's a 5-point gap right there. Secondary scoring really needed to be there when they weren't, and neither was, a solid defense, given, Colorado's state and stature. But it was nice to see Landeskog play. It really was. I mean, he did manage to put up 4 points, and for Landeskog's sake, it would have been nice to see Colorado go a little further, but them's the breaks when you run into the Dallas Stars, right? Now, as far as predictions is concerned, both the wife and I picked Dallas. She picked it to go 7. I picked it to go 6. So she gets the extra points for calling it spot on. It'll be an interesting semifinals for the Stars. I'm just saying that. Vegas, Minnesota. So games 1, 2, and 3 weren't even close. I mean, there was a 2 goal and a 3 goal lead between those 3 games. And after game 3, I thought Minnesota was going to run right away with it. And then game 4 and game 5 happened, and those were both overtimes. And game 6, Vegas won by 1 goal in regulation. So for the last 3 games of the series, Vegas made it close. It could have went either way, though. I'm just saying that much, especially when you're gambling with overtime. But it was nice to see Fleury get his last bit of playoff hockey in there while he still could, considering he's finally retiring. And then Vegas just doing what Vegas does. Should we have been surprised? No. But for Minnesota, I mean, Kaprizov led the team with 9 points. So it's not that they weren't competitive. They were very competitive. I mean, Boldy put up 7 points and Ryan Hartman put up 6. Those are your top 3 guys in Minnesota. They kept it close, so it was never a bad thing. The problem was they just ran into Vegas. And Vegas is really good at playing shutdown playoff hockey, as evident. So for the predictions, this is the first one where the wife and I disagreed. She picked Minnesota to win in 6. I picked Vegas to win in 6. Well, Vegas won in 6, and I get the bonus points for calling that spot on. Yay. Vegas moving to the semifinals again. LA Edmonton. I mean, obvious goal fest, right? I mean, Edmonton outscored LA 27-24 in those 6 games. But wouldn't you know it, Edmonton benefited from secondary scoring. It wasn't all just McDavid and Draisaitl and Kane. It was a lot of other people too. But I mean, for LA, Kempe really set the pace, putting up 10 points of his own in 6 games, followed by Kopitar and Danault with 9 and 8 respectively. And I'm not going to lie, I thought after game 2, after the Kings chased out Skinner and he was never to return, and the Oilers put in Pickard, that this was going to be an all LA series. But I was wrong. I mean, one would have thought, this is the 4th straight year you're playing the Oilers. You've lost 3 straight years to the Oilers. Wouldn't you want to put together a win? Wouldn't you want to keep winning beyond game 2 and not lose the next 4? That is what it is, right? Oilers just found a way to find their game back and shut down the Kings, no matter how many goals the Kings were scoring and how many goals they had to score. But either way, the Oilers survived this one. And as far as the predictions went, again, this is one where the wife and I disagreed. I picked LA in 7. She picked Edmonton 7. And well, obviously it was Edmonton in 6. But it could have went 7. I mean, had all the potential to do so. Just didn't happen to go that way. So as far as predictions went in the West, the wife went 3 for 4. I went 3 for 4 as well. So overall, the wife's count is at 6 for 8 with 3 spot on. Mine is 4 for 8 with 3 spot on. So I recovered nicely in the West, but she's got good ground on me on this one. But moving on to the semifinals predictions, starting with the Jets and the Stars. No, I'm not going to lie. This is going to be an amazing series. I guarantee it. Winnipeg wins if, and only if, they can stop getting hurt. If Hellebuck can manage to keep everything out and find that Hellebuck that's nominated for the Vezina and the Hart Trophy this season and play that shutdown hockey that he knows he can play and that the Jets know he can play. And if they can keep Rantanen to a minimum, they might win. But, I mean, you have to rely on more than just Connor, Scheifele, and Appleton, who lead the teams with 12, 6, and 6 respectively. I mean, Perfetti definitely proved to his worth during that first round, especially in Game 7 where he's tipping in 2. I mean, Perfetti has 5 points. So you've got the secondary scoring. You've got boatloads of potential, but defense. Remember defense. Dallas wins if Ottinger can keep things out and Rantanen, Johnson, and Heinz keep doing their thing. I mean, Rantanen leads the league in playoff points with 12. Johnson and Heinz both have 7. And it's not to say it's just on those 3. I mean, Harley is a key contributor with 5 as well. Duchesne has 3. Ceci has 3. And Sagan, who missed pretty much the whole regular season, he's got 4 points. So it's not that a lot of the veterans aren't producing either. Dallas also wins if they can find and exploit the weakness of Connor Hellebuck. And I mean, it was more than evident against St. Louis. Here's hoping Dallas can find it. As far as the predictions go, the wife and I are on the same page. Dallas, we're just in disagreement on games. I've picked in 6, she's picked in 7. So either way, it'll be fun to see how long this goes and who comes out in one piece. Golden Knights versus the Oilers. I know we've been down this road before, and it's always been a fun one to watch. Edmonton wins if McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard, Brown, Hopkins, Hyman, everybody can manage to put everything on net, and hopefully everything that they do goes past Adin Hill, because, I mean, really, when you focus more on offense and forget all about what your problems are on defense, that's a great thing, right? I mean, let's not tell lies here. The Oilers' defense, more specifically in net, I mean, how long can Pickard go? And how well can the Oilers' defense protect him from the Vegas Golden Knights? It's not going to be an easy task, not even for the Oilers. The Golden Knights, well, they'll win if they can play better than Edmonton. I mean, again, Edmonton has McDavid and Draisaitl, the best 1-2 punch in the league. Vegas, they've got Eichel, Hurl, and Theodore, as well as Mark Stone, with 5-5, 4-4 respectively. But Adin Hill is your story. Always has been, always will be. And man, if he can play like Adin Hill played in 2023 when Vegas won the Cup, it's not beyond the realm of impossibility to say, hey, Vegas has another chance at another Cup. But the trick is to play better than the Oilers' best players. And by extension, if the offense is going to play better, then the defense definitely has to play a lot better. Not so much just Adin Hill, but your defensive line as a whole. I mean, between Theodore, Hanifin, McNabb, Pietrangelo, there's no reason you can't hold the Oilers at bay. I mean, yeah, McDavid is McDavid and Draisaitl is Draisaitl, but you're the Vegas Golden Knights defense. You should be okay. Now, as far as predictions, again, this is where the wife and I disagree. I picked Vegas in 6. She picked Edmonton in 7. If you haven't noticed, with all my picks between the East and the West, I'm rolling 6s for every series here. But again, we've been in this series before, and it was fun then. So hopefully this is another fun one now. We'll see what once game 1 happens. So long and short of it, that's my and the wife's predictions. Let me know where you think we're out to lunch. Let me know your picks. Either way, feel free to jump in on the conversation on this one. That was another one of them Trev's hockey shows. I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you're tuned into this point. If you've made it to this point, congratulations. You've made it to the end. That's awesome. It really is. So the fact that you're here, or even if you just want to say, hey, if you're digging what I'm doing, feel free to throw the thumbs up. Trust me, it goes a long way, and I can use it, definitely. If you want to, if you haven't done so yet, there's that red button that says subscribe all over it. Come on, you know you want to hit it. I know you want to hit it. The algorithm knows you want to hit it. It'll make you feel good. It'll make me feel good. And like I said, we're pushing for 500 by the end of the year. So if we can make that happen, that'll make this guy very happy. If you want, that link in my description down below, well, that'll take you to my Facebook page. Feel free to join that. I mean, I'm posting a lot more on there than I usually would. And I'd love to build the audience there, much like I've built the audience here. That would be an amazing thing. So moving forward, as far as the regular season is concerned, well, this is the semifinals predictions. So look for the finals when those decide to pop up. But either way, in the meantime, and in between time, be looking forward to some Trev. Later.